Oh, you might want to be careful with that one. That bloke over there, he's been up to no good around these parts. It's not something you want these days. Just a friendly reminder. Don't get yourself killed now, mate. A pretty thing like you. No, I'm not saying that. Just you got looks. You might as well not waste them on something like that. Use that better. Just be careful.
Ah, don't listen to him. So you wish to summon something. I could see it in your eyes. The interest in the occult. Something more. Something more. Ah. Let me guess. You want riches. You want security. You want a future without famine. With much feast. Well, interest you I might. Interest you I will. I've got one hell of a spell to try. A trill, a thrill, nothing more. I will give you the key to open this door. You. Yes, I see good things in you. You must be the one I've searched for all this time. Now, let's see what you've got. Will you cast the spell or not? I see it, yes, oh yes, it's there. A magic circle on you there.
Cast the spell and see it through. Find the destiny that awaits you too.
I finally found you. Surely you're not going to do this. You don't mean to seriously summon forces from beyond. You know what we've been through because of them. I know you're at a bleak road. It's the only way you can survive. But isn't there some other way? Couldn't we invoke the powers of something else? Something better than this? I'm not entirely sure, but I'll stay by your side. Just as sure as my name is Joffrey, I will be your right hand. I know my hands might be tied in this, and your choice is your own. I'm but a simple servant, someone dedicated to you. My goals are not my own. I wish only for your quick recovery, your safe venture from the river Styx. I'd prefer it not to be a permanent one. Without you, I fear, I may have no need of servants like me. And while it may be a selfish reason, I hope you'll reconsider all this. It took me forever to find you, but at least I wasn't too late. Or was I? Pardon, I've overstepped my boundaries. Please, at least allow me to lead you back to the mansion. Your guardian has charged me with finding you. And I'm sorry it had to be this way. Did I interrupt you? Of course I did. Knowing my clumsy self. But can you blame me? The streets are dangerous at this time of night. If we persist, what could happen? Could be ungodly. The madness of this city. Once the night goes around, corpses ended up on the side of the street, like nothing. Between the plague, between the chaos, the cultists and otherwise, it's hard to know what to trust. You've received something from that crazy kook. I'll trust you. If you see it as your only way, how could I blame you for self-preservation? But take it as a word of warning. No matter what you do, actions have consequences. And you may be in for more than your cure. It might be a whole lot more. I know. I can't protect you, and that bothers me. It bothers me to my core. Because I wanted to. I always wanted to. Pardon my bold statement, but ever since we were small, I've taken care of you. You've been like my other half. I wish I could say you were more than that. I wish we could be more than that. But rules, the society, everything around us does not properly allow for that. Now, will you please come with me? I'm sorry. I've said too much. I've overspoken without discretion. You may feel free to punish me once we're home. I'd just like it for you to be safe at the moment. I'll be damned if I can't at least keep you safe at home from gutless thieves and the rabble who would use you against your family. I don't want them to be victorious, even if it's contrary to what I've been paid to do. My family have served yours for generations. Is it wrong of me to dream of something better for you? I don't just want it to be this or that. I want you to thrive. But I know I don't have that power. If only I were the demon. If only I was the one with the power in this. I would do it. I would sell my very soul for it. Brash, I know. But what can I do? What can I do except for try my best? Nothing else seems to work. Hell, my best doesn't work. It makes me so angry. So angry. All I want is to be there for you, like I was when we were children. I know you've grown since then. I know times change, and that I can't always do what I want to, but I still must try. You're right. I'll leave you to it. Just promise me one thing. No matter what happens, stay yourself. Don't let any ungodly being change you. Stay that beautiful, wonderful person I've known my entire life. Don't change. Not even for a demon. No gods or demons have a ply here. Not a single one. I bid you good night. May we meet in the morning, just the same as any other. Or perhaps, if there is such a thing, perhaps a kind demon will appear. Or perhaps you can summon an angel to do the bidding of... Who am I kidding? I'm worried. But I'll trust your discretion. Just do what you believe in. All right? And I truly do care about you. It was nothing. Sleep well. We'll talk later. I promise. I see you've got such caring company. It's quite endearing, isn't it? But the poor bloke didn't even know that I was already inside you. It does rather make it sound compromising, doesn't it? Well, I'm sure, as you know, it's not quite so intimate yet. You have merely called out to me, and I have answered. You owe me a debt, but what will I take from you? Will I take your morals? Will I take your love? Really now, what does it matter? No matter what I take from you, you will enjoy it. A life fulfilled. A life long and very much alive. And that's why you summoned me. Sickness and in health.
I suppose you could say we're married now, are we? Don't misunderstand me, though. There's no such thing as a give-and-take relationship. One always takes more. Though the question I have is, which one of us will that be? You see, I can be quite generous for a demon. The name is Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian Michaelis, if you wish to know formalities. And as for you, you've summoned me, haven't you? With your unknowing and unwitting ritual, your desire showed ever so tantalizingly. Now it's quite a question. Where do we go from here, my master? I could think of a number of ways. It's just, isn't it so much more fun to take a shot in the dark, to understand what you're doing but have no idea of the consequences? I shall take a wild guess and assume that you want a cure for your ailment, being that it was going to kill you very, very shortly. I said in past tense, particularly because if you agree to be mine instead, well, let us just say I will not let you die. No, not by a long shot. Why would I waste such an interesting vassal? You can serve me for the rest of eternity. And of course, I would take good care of you. By demon standards, I would say I'm the most generous of my kind. Well, except for a few. Possibly many. It depends on perspective. Regardless, what is it you desire beyond that? Surely you want something more than to be my pet. My loyal subordinate. Ah, yes. Quite a worthy one, if I do say so myself. But why, I might ask? Why are you suddenly worthy in my eyes? What do you think? What's the mysticism behind the magic? Why, it's your soul. Your soul is filled with so many unkempt desires. You have given up so many. And for what? For your family name. You've been poisoned from a youth. And now you suffer because these fools take you. They take advantage of you and make you into their puppet. And even still, you stay loyal to them. But why? Could it be they're leveraging your little friend there? I wonder. It does seem rather preposterous, doesn't it? The fact that you, the next in line for owning this large estate, for owning this family, are played as a pawn. Nothing more than a fool. But why? You could have so many extra things, so many different things at that. Why settle for what you've been given, the cards you're dealt? Why not give everything to me? I could make you extremely powerful. At the cost of your soul, of course. I don't wish to take it, unlike other demons. No, I'm not quite like them. Not to be some kind of hipster demon or something, but I wish to share your soul. I wish to accompany you in physical form, just like this. Oh, save your surprised expression for after I've cured you. But really, what is it you want? This nonsensical drama does not need to consume you. The monotony of daily life does not need to be yours alone. I can change it ever so slightly and make it into something that is much more fun. You may even call it something of a hell of a good time. But playing can be done later. We have no need to waste our time on that. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Oh, fear not. It's nothing like the devil's kiss, I assure you. My kiss is quite more tame, depending on what you agree upon in our little contract. What is it you want other than being cured? Surely you're human. You want something more than that. Humans are never satisfied with just curing something. They want it all. And surely you're no different. Ah, interesting. Perhaps I was wrong about you. Perhaps there is much more to you than first meet the eye. Yes. Perhaps you'd like to tell me all about yourself. I'd be most inclined to listen. Even before a contract, I can be civil. Quite proper about things, don't you think? Instead of us getting off on the wrong foot, and you thinking I'm some sniveling demon, here to steal your soul. Instead, why not just tell me about yourself? There is so much to you, isn't there? I can see it with one glance, without using any demonic power, or anything of mysticism or magic. Instead, I'd much rather get to know you, and know if you happen to have any fluffy animals around. We may get along quite well. In fact, I would venture so far as to say you are someone who very much intrigues me, which is rare for a human, but given your circumstances, your tragic past, your more tragic present, you are quite the unfortunate individual. And for better or worse, us demons tend to be drawn to that kind of thing. Now, instead of us getting hung up on that, why don't you tell me more about yourself? Ah, yes. It does so pay to hear it from the horse's mouth. Indubitably. Things are so much more interesting when you put them into your own words. I could peer inside that head of yours so morbidly, but why would I encroach upon a breach of your personal space? But I digress. Things will be oh so jolly once we get along as friends, right? Unless you're looking for more. Yes, I see it in your eyes now. You want something more from me. Is that a hint of attraction? Perhaps you have some kind of a devilish attraction to me. But if you do, I'm afraid I must decline. At least until we're more acquainted. Once we sign the contract, if it is, so to speak, within the contract confines, then by all means, I will give you exactly what you want. The question is, when and where and how? We wouldn't want you to get a bad contract or anything of uncouth nature. We want you to get exactly what you want, don't we? Yes, my master. Or I should say, unless I am the master of us, in which case I will take good care of you. You have my promise. Not to be taken lightly at that. I would never give a promise to a pauper or a fool. It speaks legions of your character. After all, it would be nothing but boring if you had no interesting qualities, if you had nothing but preposterous expectations. No, you've treated me as an equal. That alone makes you better than the rest, and I have to give credit where credit is due, my dear. You are interesting. Interesting and worthy of my time. My point in all of this is very simple. I just want the best for both of us, and if you can trust me, I'm sure that will be very easy to do. We'll have the most fun and the most wonderful future ahead of us. In fact, you may just be able to live forever, if that is one of your goals. That is. Ah, never fear about the details. Those are oh so bland. I really want to understand your desires more than anything, though that might be a very demonic way of approaching things. Desires do have oh so much to say about you as a person, and I want to get to know that. I want to taste it palatable, the essence of what makes you you. Won't you show me what it is that designs you, what it is that makes your skin crawl? Yes, I want you, in the most carnal of ways, but I can only do so if you respond to my advances. Now spit it out. What is it? What is it you want to do? Yes, it is as I expected. Thankfully, your words are colorful and, dare I say, succinct, which makes things all the more easy from my end of things. For that, I must thank you. You have been most gracious to me as a host, but will you be as a contractee? Oh yes, here we are. Based upon your current desires, based upon what you seem to enjoy, what you wish from this world, as well as other small intricacies I've picked up on our conversation, I would like to propose this. You become my subordinate. Yes, that would mean eternal life, solving the cure to your ailment. The reason why is quite simple. I've looked into your fate, and you will die very soon even if you cure this, which is just sad for me. It's too easy. I would get your soul if I were to do a standard contract. But that doesn't sit well with me. Stealing souls is not the ideal way to go about demoning. In the first place, you would be miserable. You would be a soul captured and used as currency of the netherworld. And that's not a very fun existence, trust me, as someone who's been there and done that. Instead, I much rather suggest you becoming my subordinate. In that way, you would also be immortal, naturally, as you would gradually become like me. Someone who makes contracts, someone who gives mortals their desires, and someone who would be my companion. Of course, strictly speaking, you would be living, if that isn't already expressly stated. I hope you'll pardon my saying so, but you've got that air about you. Something special, of course, something very special about you indeed. It's, dare I say, attractive. No, I want you, even more than a subordinate. I want you as a partner, someone to accompany me on this journey for eternity. I know it's a long time, but isn't that the point? Time is such a fickle mistress, but with me you will not have to bade to her beck and call. Instead, you will leave this place and become mine. But of course, I would not ask this for free. In fact, more than curing you, I wish to save you, give you something more to take a bite of. Instead, I will care for you in a way that would make a demon blush, or perhaps toes curl, if you prefer that analogy. The essence of it is so very simple. Just sign the dotted line, and we can be on our merry way. You can read up, you can read down. There's no fine print. Demon contracts are so very hard to sneak something in. But that's for the better, isn't it? That way, you don't have to worry about me tricking you. Everything is plain as day, even if I prefer the night. I do apologize if I've been too forward with all this. It is not my intention to do so, not even slightly. In fact, you could say I'm doing you a favor. No other demon would be as gracious as me. in part because I've taken a liking to you. Is there a problem with that? I sincerely hope not, as it would be quite counterintuitive for us to part ways like this. You will not find a more gracious contract, I'm afraid. So take it or leave it. Your fate is in your own hands. And as for what choice you make, I will soundly respect it. I do not hold grudges, as well as do not hold it against you, if the conditions do not align with your desires. No matter what the case, it was wonderful meeting you. It was a riveting experience that I don't often get these days, even though it's trifling times and quite peculiar. Not too many people are turning to the dark arts, nor do they have the desire that you possess. That alone makes you something of a outlier case, and I don't want to see you with someone else. Pardon, perhaps you could call it something like love at first sight. Truly a tragic romance, isn't it? Something of this sort. I've waited all of my eternity, and yet here you are, but I might lose you. You'll sign it. Are you certain about that? You may be signing away your life, and then what? What would it mean for you? I suppose you don't have anything to lose, that is true. Oh, woe's me. Could this be? I've caught you. Nothing malicious, of course, but as I see it, you are mine now, and I am yours. We will survive as somewhat immortal beings, and I will share in the revelry of the world below, or perhaps the world above. Now that we are contracted, perhaps we could visit both. I could introduce you to my parents of sorts. I could even show you much of the world. Though I wouldn't recommend going down there while you're still alive. We'll wait until your afterlife for that one. Not that you're truly ever going to die. You'll just exist in a realm of undeath. But I've explained that. You are my immortal partner, and thus there will be a number of rules to be had and taken care of. I do not mean this in any disrespect, only that if you do not, you will not be able to do half the things you wish to. There will be chains bound to your heart, chains bound to your legs, and chains around your throat. Oh, I know. It sounds like such a fun time, but trust me, it's not. Now I'm almost unsure of what to say. Oh, now that I've got you to sign it. The contract is official. Now I must ask you, what is it that made you do it? Was it the impending death, the threat of the second death you would have faced? Or was it something further? Interesting. You have a fascinating take on life. I do hope we get to have lots and lots of fluffy animals, hopefully the immortal kind. I would so hate to say goodbye. Each and every one of them. They are a fluffy part of my heart. From here until forever. I will keep them. Quite literally. If they pass away, I'll keep their soul as a trinket. Wouldn't you do the same? Ah, yes. I forget mortal rules apply to you still. We have much to teach you, don't we? Like your place. Yes. Right this way, if you would. Yes, there doesn't appear to be a door here. But if you look again, behold, I've made a door in the wall, though not literally. It's a door to my personal chambers. Well, you didn't expect me to get nothing out of the contract, did you? No, of course not. You wouldn't expect something so selfish of me, would you? No, no, no. Instead, you must understand, what I'm doing here is not just charity. You are mine. I will take possession of you, and you will be forever mine. It's quite simple, really, is it not? This is your place now, your home, as well as your other one, but I wouldn't go back there any time soon. You might give a faulty impression of what happens after you're taken by demons. They might think you're possessed. Oh, what would they do then? Try and exorcise you? And kill you in the process, I wonder? The world can be such an uncanny place. I wish not to subject you to the dangers of it. Instead, let's do something much more enticing. After all, I still have to get to know you. There is so very much time, and yet so very much to learn. Let us go and enjoy ourselves. Let us revel in each other's grasp, enjoy the night, and figure it out. One devilish touch after the next. If I may be so bold as to ask, may I kiss you? Interesting. You are so agreeable, aren't you? Is it that you're as attracted to me as I first assumed? Then, perhaps we should make some demons blush while we're at it. Eternity is such a long time, but it always feels like home if you let it be. Perhaps I underestimated you. There is so much to you that I still need to understand, and yet here I am, understanding you in your core. You do have such an intricate way about things, don't you? I do so enjoy it. Your former misery does spice up your intricacies as an immortal. If not for misery, we would not have grace. If there was no famine, there would be no feast. Everything happens for a reason, my dear. Just like you, signing that contract, you might be a big deal in the netherworld. It really depends how you play your cards and what you do with your time. But your time belongs to me now, just as mine belongs to you. Do not worry about escaping. There is no escape. Not now or ever. We will be together indubitably forever. And if we try and separate, it would only cause us pain. You enjoy my company, do you not? I certainly enjoy yours. And what's wrong with that? A good company is one of the most important things in life. If you don't have good company and fluffy animals, why are you alive? I would have chosen death if that was the case. But you have me. One hell of a lover. And if you try and do anything I don't like, of course, I'll tell you. But one thing you can never even think of doing is leaving me asunder and moving on. No, us demons were quite clingy beings. We do not ever let go, and as long as you see fit, I will at least remain a savvy conversation and romantic partner of yours, no matter what time turns or what worlds end. We will exist beyond that, my dear.